Hi, I'm Kevin,
I'm Daniel.
and this is the Duck Duck Nerd Show.
Yes.
We're nerdy people. Get
We
used
are.
to it.
Yeah, we are.
Talk nerdy to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally says everything. So today, our episode, I really am disappointed because I wanted to be in costume for this episode. I bought a costume, and it just did not fit. Luckily, the company refunded me
Thank goodness.
and told me to keep the costume.
Double thank goodness.
Double thank goodness on that one. But this episode, we are going to be discussing Marvel versus DC.
Yes.
Ba-bum.
Bum.
So let's go ahead and dive right on into it.
Yeah, so it's going to be specifically, we're focusing mostly on the MCU, so basically everything from Iron Man to Infinity War, or I guess Ant-Man and the Wasp. So all of that for Marvel, and then DC we're going to talk about basically just from Superman or Man of Steel to it's been a while since Man of Steel's been out, but
Suicide Squad?
Man of Steel to Justice League came out this. Is that this year?
Did Justice League come before Suicide Squad?
It was definitely after. It was after Suicide Squad because it was
Okay.
Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, and then Justice League, and then Aquaman is coming out in a little while. So yeah, so we're going to talk about those movies, and then we're going to also talk about basically the entire DC Arrowverse. And we're going to talk about Marvel's Netflix shows and then the other shows that they have on ABC and things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're going to talk first about the movies. And so let's talk about what are some things that you like first about the Marvel movies.
So one thing I like and that Marvel has done a very good job on is that Marvel started at the beginning with just one character, made all the solo movies before they brought them together. Which, unfortunately, DC, on the other hand, has made a couple solo movies and then jumped right to the group movie before all the other characters were introduced.
Say they barely even made Man of Steel and then Batman v Superman, which introduced Batman and Wonder Woman,
And then also all the other characters, too, were introduced.
Teased everybody
Yeah.
for some weird reason. It's like, I get it, but that's a post credits kind of thing. That's not a let's throw this in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
And I mean, even at the end of, what was it? If you've seen Justice League at the end, the whole Slade Wilson, or was it Slade Wilson?
Oh,
Deathstroke?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Deathstroke.
the Deathstroke premiere is Joe Manganiello, and like, nothing's come of that.
Yeah. Oh, nothing.
Like,
I don't think
I'm about to say,
anything
he
will.
was cast
Honestly.
years ago for that role.
Yeah.
But yet, they haven't done anything on it, so it's just like, what are you guys doing?
It's surprising for their budget that they have, because, I mean, DC is rich, obviously, that they can't just do something subtly and calmly and then keep it going and steadily build on it. I know they're, years behind Marvel, and they want to, like, catch up and, let's see, if we're going to do our Justice League when Avengers happens. It just doesn't work because it's just super rushed.
It no work, no good.
Not at all. So
Sorry, SA, it no work, no good.
not at all.
No.
Exactly.
So that, to me, is...
Well, that's a big thing that we like
hold
about
on,
Marvel.
I can come up with a word with that. Using the word quack. Here, hold on. Just keep talking. I'll figure it
Anyways, so that's one thing that we like about Marvel is that Marvel laid a base and kept it going, and they're continuing to lay base for new characters. Very few. I mean, Spider-Man was opened into the MCU through Civil War, and so he didn't have his solo movie first.
Yeah.
But because Spider-Man has had 2 origin movies in the last decade or two,
Yeah.
that people don't need to see an origin story for Spider-Man, and I think that's fine.
I got it.
Okay.
It was a quacktastrophe.
Quacktastrophe, perfect.
Quacktastrophe.
Yeah, and so Justice League, as cool as it was,
It was rushed.
It was
And
rushed.
I think it would have been better received if they had done the origin movies for all the characters first.
yeah, cool.
They had the time. They just wanted to catch up with Marvel.
Yeah, and it just didn't work. But let's talk about something that you like about the story. So, I wanted to break it into like story, artistic style, and then just like the overall feel, like maybe even like the action and stuff. So, story wise, Marvel has got, I think they got a leg up way above DC.
Yeah,
They know what they're doing. But is there anything about the story in DC that you do like or don't like?
I mean,
really?
I've always loved the origin stories of Superman, Batman, all that, which they've all pretty much kept the same, which is fine. Although Batman and Superman hadn't fought until recently.
Yeah.
Until Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
That was the first time they had really come together and the universes collided.
Yeah, and that was crazy.
But DC goes further back too. I mean, if you want to technically include it, you got the Dark Knight series, you got the Michael Keaton Batman series, you've got Christopher Reeve as Superman, you've got Smallville, you've got Lois and Clark, you've got the animated shows even, which Batman animated series, Superman the animated show, and then I feel like I'm missing one. A Batman.
Well, even the
Batman
Justice
Beyond.
League. Oh yeah, Batman Beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Justice League. I mean, it goes very far back. The cartoons for Super Friends or Justice League go way far back into like the 60s and 70s.
And I would say that DC had I would say they had a absolute monopoly on media back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like pre-1990s, Marvel, I mean, I've seen some clips of like bad
Marvel
Spider-Man
wasn't,
shows, bad Marvel movies, Hulk and Thor, and garbage.
Spider-Man had a cartoon show. I mean, hold on, actually. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, and so so before the 90s, DC was crushing it with everything, I would say. They were destroying it. In the 90s, we had the Spider-Man animated series and the X-Men
Okay, so stop
series.
right there. Spider-Man animated series. Who remembers this?
I don't remember this. Oh, I remember. Okay.
See, it goes into it.
Yeah, okay, it does go into it. And
I remember watching this on TV, hearing this song, and it was like cold chills.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Absolutely loved it. And so Marvel brought it in after a little while. But I don't know, it's too bad to see that DC has made kind of a big fool of themselves in the story wise.
They didn't take their time with everything. If they had taken their time and done it like Marvel did, they probably could have beaten Marvel.
Yeah.
I think they could have easily done it.
I don't know if beaten just because the characters are a lot more relatable in Marvel, but they would have at least established themselves well to have a good back and forth and a good competition.
Right, and Marvel and DC really do compare to each other. I mean, they're basically the same thing. I mean, in Marvel, you've got Darkseid, who was... Oh, no, sorry, DC, you have Darkseid. Marvel, you have Thanos, which are basically like the same type of villain. They're all after to conquer the universe. And that thing, so they all kind of ripped off each other a little bit. Now, the true question is, who did it first? And that I don't know. I don't know whether Marvel did it first or DC.
It depends on the character. I've done some research. It just depends the character because certain characters came out before other ones and just kind of went back and forth. But so what are? Let me ask you, what is an artistic choice that you like about Marvel and artistic choice that you don't like?
So
about
the
Marvel?
artistic choice I like about Marvel is, I guess artistic. So for example, Deadpool was very true to who he was in the comics. He was vulgar, he was foul-mouthed, all that, and they captured that artistically on film.
Yeah.
Artistically, Marvel, Ant-Man, I don't know a lot about him in the comics, but he seems to be like the funny superhero.
Yeah.
Which it seems to be, other than Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool's hilarious, but he's a little crude.
Yeah.
But, with the comedy aspect, they definitely do a good job with that. As for DC, artistically... the one thing I didn't like was how they changed the Superman logo. I mean, the Man of Steel logo, that S, it's all fat and nasty looking.
I think that they changed that mostly because they wanted to create the idea that it's like, oh, this is a Krypton letter. It's not the letter S. It's something that means hope. It doesn't mean this. And it's like, yeah, we get it, but...
But it's been the same that's the one thing, consistency. From every show, that Superman logo has remained the same.
Yeah.
Always remained the same, either different colors, but it always was that iconic S symbol.
It's a pretty strong S.
For the House of L, is what it stood for. I mean, even in the show Krypton, it is still the same.
Oh, yeah?
It is.
Oh, I didn't know.
If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen Krypton
I haven't
yet?
seen Krypton, so no.
Season 1 was phenomenal, and you can you have access to my Vudu, right?
Yeah.
It's on there.
Yeah, cool.
So you'll have to check it out. The first season was really good. Not really any actors you recognize, but yet the story kept you intrigued and was a fantastic series.
Oh, okay.
Let the cliffhanger off at the end for season 2 and was just like, oh, I gotta wait for season 2. Crap.
That's funny. No, that's good.
Wah, wah.
So for me, an artistic choice that I didn't like about Marvel, I really like that they brought the comics to life very well. Like it felt very much like a comic book. The costume design was really spot on, I would say, in the sense that it didn't look exactly like the comics, but in the good way, where it's like some people like Scarlet Witch, her comic book persona is a lot a lot skankier and a lot more inappropriate, like all this hanging out and everything. And so I'm glad that they just went with the themes and made it into something realistic.
And so that kids could go see it too.
And the kids could go see it too. And then, but other people like Captain America. I like that in the first Captain America, they had a reason for him to be really campy looking, really silly looking. And then his other iterations held very true to it, but with just some stronger, they brought it to life.
Here's a question that everyone probably has on their mind. What the heck is with Chris Evans' beard? Why did they even make him grow a beard in the first place?
I don't know. I think
that wasn't Captain America. That was technically the Nomad.
Right. I think that I think they wanted to kind of relate a little bit into the Nomad.
Just looking at it made me itchy. I mean, it's making me itchy now just thinking about it.
I think that they just did it because they wanted to show how far away he had been. He had decided to separate himself from being Captain America, and because it's also in style.
And for those of you who don't know, I'm sure everyone knows that Chris Evans has tweeted that he is done.
Oh yeah,
as Captain America. He said it was a tier of Infinity War 2. I guess for the next Avengers movie is his last appearance as Captain America. After that, he's done.
Right. Oh yeah.
So there's all sad whether they're going to bring a new Captain America or whether it's going to be that Captain America dies. I mean, there's a lot of speculation there that it could happen. Thanos could kill him, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
But
we have to wait till May to find out. Come on, May.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be. I hope he dies.
I mean the month of May.
I hope he dies. I hope everybody dies. Honestly, I hope. I know. Spoilers.
Who?
No, I want at least the main four to die. They need to die. They needed something needs to happen to them.
Oh yeah. Well, all I have to say to that is
yes, exactly. Kill them all.
Just one snap. All it needed. But now I was like, can he do that snap again? Because if you saw that glove was like melted to his skin after the one snap.
Oh yeah, no, that's a well.
But
we can
how
talk
are they going to bring back everyone? Because they all have upcoming movies. Guardians of the Galaxy have an upcoming movie. You can't have Guardians of the Galaxy with just Rocket.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's plenty of theories for.
There's no Groot anymore. For those of you who haven't seen Infinity War, sorry, there's a lot of spoilers in here, but you should have seen it by now. It's been out in DVD for months.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So something that I don't like about Marvel, though, I'll say, is that all their movies are very, there's no high-end cinematography in any of it. I say the movies are all very easy to watch and very fun to watch, very action-y and stuff, but they're just very, straightforward movies. There's nothing really that interesting about them. So, in contrast, even though Justice League and Batman v Superman are, really dark and really weird and, kind of, edgy, I'm glad that they took a stylistic choice on them. And Marvel is fun, and, I mean, they chose this comic book style, but it makes all the movies just kind of blend. It's like, okay, well, this is now Thor attacking this guy. Now it's just Spider-Man fighting with this guy. Now it's just Iron Man fighting against this guy. And so there's no major difference in the movies, in my opinion, that we find there.
Well, I mean, all superhero movies are about someone fighting someone.
That is true, but I can't recognize. The only thing is, Thor Ragnarok, for example, was an extremely colorful and vibrant movie, and they win on that. They win into different tones of different places, when certain characters are in certain frames, they made the color flushed out really well. And so I thought
wonder if the Rock guy that was in that movie, I can't remember his name, was actually in the comics. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah.
I think that there's so many backlog characters that they would just be like, oh yeah, Rock guy.
Him here. We'll put him in here. And Howard the Duck, we'll put him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 or something like that.
Yeah. So what is something artistically that you like about the DC movies? We'll try.
Let me go back to Marvel real quick.
Yeah.
Before that, so artistically, Stan Lee is in every single Marvel movie. He's like a hidden cameo in every movie. Mm-hmm. That's something unique. I mean, you don't see the writer of DC in any of the movies.
That's true. Also, I think that Stan Lee is far better known.
Although Stan Lee did a cameo in Teen Titans Go.
Oh yeah.
He's like, crap, I'm in the wrong movie.
That
was probably the best part about that movie. I couldn't get through that movie. I gave it 25 minutes. It was too much singing and just no.
Yeah, no, that's funny. I did not realize that he'd be in there. But that is a really funny line. Yeah, I'm in the wrong movie. That's funny.
I'm at the wrong studio.
That's
even in the Spider-Man video game, they brought Stan Lee in as the restaurant owner.
Oh yeah? That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So okay, let's move on to DC. So it's an artistic
So-
choice that you did and didn't like about the DC
So
movies.
artistically, what I liked is definitely the actors they got to play the characters. I think they did a really good choice on that. I mean, Henry Cavill did a really good job as Superman, which, by the way, he may be out too.
Oh yeah,
He may be gone.
I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Yeah, there was this whole rumor thing, and his Twitter account was just. They're so vague. They did the one thing they do a good job of is being vague, so that we can't determine. He doesn't say, "Hey guys, I'm out of Superman. See you later." It's just leave you with this cryptic message. Well, is he or isn't he?
Yeah.
I guess that's why they do it. Get us hooked.
But yeah, he was great. I did not when I saw Gal Gadot, whatever her name is. When I saw her as Wonder Woman, like when I first saw that they were casting her, and I saw like the first images, I was like, "What the heck is this?"
And me on the other hand, I was like Wayne's World.
See,
It was like swing, swing.
I just like it was crazy because I thought like look, when I see Wonder Woman, I see a tall, brutish, beautiful woman who has a towering presence in her because she's mostly, I think at least when I see Wonder Woman or when I've seen her in comics, that she's physically large and physically intimidating while yet being like seductive and beautiful as she is the princess and whatever.
Now, see, I feel on the opposite side. I feel like their choice in Wonder Woman was exactly right on target. I mean, she looks like the original Wonder Woman, who, by the way, lives here in Maryland. That's why Maryland is great. The owner of Bethesda Software is married to the original Wonder Woman.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
and
fine.
apparently she even goes to their parties dressed as Wonder Woman.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Now I will say that I was wrong in my ideas when I saw the movie and I saw her act and do the things. Even though she wasn't physically like taller than other people or stature wise.
I mean, was
goodness
she the same
gracious,
height
her-
as Chris Pine in the movie?
I don't remember. But either way, her presence, Gal Gadot crushed it. Whenever she walked in the room, all the eyes were on her because she just had this presence and ability to just command attention and command authority. Like noise. As soon as she spoke, everyone was just like, "Oh, whatever she says goes." Like she just totally nailed it. And so, I honestly, out of all of the actors, I mean, Ben Affleck as Batman was really good, but I think that she fits the role best.
The sexual innuendo was still pretty funny on Wonder Woman, though.
Oh yeah, I remember.
When he gets out of the hot tub, when he gets out of the spa, and so, are you normal? Above normal to most men.
Oh yeah, no, that was pretty funny.
It's just like really felt
funny.
embarrassed to watch.
Oh yeah, nah.
But no, Wonder Woman 1984 had gotten pushed back. If you guys haven't heard, so that's not
Sad.
going to be till 2020 or 2021.
I think 2020. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully sooner. I love the villain, the actor who played the villain in Wonder Woman 1, though.
Oh yeah.
I look at him every time I see him. I was like, "Oh, it's Professor Lupin from Harry Potter! Yay!
But
Is he going to go werewolf?" No,
He did so good.
he did very well.
Wonder Woman is definitely, I would say, the best out of the DC movies.
Absolutely agreed.
Like without.
I said hands down, by far the best.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah. Very well done, and it was a phenomenal movie. So okay, so let's. We skipped over. I don't know. So what's something that you don't like artistically about DC movies?
I definitely don't like the way they portrayed the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Ugh.
That one made me want to vomit.
Blah.
I
Jared
almost
Leto.
just did in my mouth.
Now, Jared Leto, he can do some other things,
Okay.
and he has some talent. But that was wrong. That was
No.
not okay.
I'm sorry. What the?
Yeah,
It has the hand tattoo right
Yeah.
there. Really, the Joker wasn't tattooed. I mean, even Walking Phoenix is going to do a better Joker than.
Oh yeah.
I mean, have you seen the pictures?
Oh yeah. No.
Oh my gosh! And it's going to be like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Now I suffer from a lot of like reboot fatigue in that sense, and
Is that
so
a medical condition, Daniel?
it is at this point.
Man, I don't know, doctor. I'm not feeling so good. What's the matter? Oh, I think I have reboot fatigue.
It's Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker already again. I already was
How
having
many
a
Jokers do we got?
having a hard time with Spider-Man
We've
and-
got the original from the Batman TV show with Adam West. You've got Jack Nicholson, which is still one of my favorites. You got Heath Ledger, who did phenomenally well, but so well that it actually disturbed him enough that there was an accidental suicide with medications and
I don't know
complications.
about
Ended up
what
dying.
happened,
And then there was, after Heath Ledger, there was Jared Leto, which was just...
Yeah, not great. Not great at all.
I'm sorry. Did he even have a laugh?
Yeah. Oh, he did. You don't remember it? It was...
That's probably why I don't remember it was horrible.
Yeah.
But I still think one of the best Jokers, which I didn't mention, was Mark Hamill.
Oh, easily.
By far. Ooh, gotta be careful with all those weirdos around.
That's pretty good, actually. That's really good. That's a little scarily good. But yeah, so Joker has been around, and that just... maybe at the end we'll talk about like a side tangent of reboots and what's good and what isn't about that. And so that's a whole other
even
discussion.
Going back to the Riddler, Jim Carrey, and was a phenomenal Riddler. I feel he had the funny down, he had the comedy down, was able to do that and do the riddle me this, riddle me that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then Tommy Lee Jones, I wouldn't have thought of him as being a good Two-Face. I wouldn't have pictured him in that role, but he pulled it off. He definitely did that. That was in Batman Forever, I think, right? Batman Forever. Val Kilmer.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I grew up on those old Batman movies. So Batman Forever with Val Kilmer, and the first appearance of Robin for Dick Grayson was by Chris McDonald.
Oh, no.
Christopher McDonald.
No idea.
We're gonna have to IMDb.
Yeah, we'll look those up later.
We'll look it up later.
But anyways, so yeah, the Joker, and then that would just bring into like some of the characters. So I think that probably, honestly, the character choices for the DC movies have either been really, really good
or really bad. They haven't really had anything in the middle. So Ben Affleck, good or bad?
I thought he was great. When people were like, "Oh, he's gonna be terrible," I'm like, first of all, let's give him a chance. Because Christian Bale's Batman was already kind of weird, but he turned out to be really good.
Where is it?
I thought that was a good
I don't know how he did that. I hurt my thought just doing that for a little bit.
But he did a good job. But Ben Affleck, I thought that he did great. I thought he did well. I think that they should have stuck with him either being an older Batman, kind of like Batman Begins, or Batman Beyond, or kept him just the normal Batman age.
Because if they do a Batman Beyond, they need to bring back Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
You need to bring him back hands down. Bring back Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
No, that'd be cool.
And then Terry McGinnis, if you could get Will Friedle to do it. It would be the same voice, but I don't know if the actor's in that good of a shape to do it. But no, because that was another good animated show.
That was a great animated show.
That was good.
But I just felt like Batman in particular, like I said, I had a problem. I couldn't tell if he was old or young, or if he was aging or not.
Well, and then on top of that, they've got now Gotham, the TV show. Have you seen any of that?
I've seen a little bit, but very
I've kept up with it. I'm still a little behind, but now they've got this kid who's Bruce Wayne, and he's becoming Batman in the show. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you got Commissioner Gordon, and they've just now cast Shane West as Bane. Really?
Weird.
I just don't see him pulling that off. All I see him is crying over a girl who has cancer. Sorry. Spoilers to A Walk to Remember, one of my favorite movies.
No,
Great movie, but
no, that's...
But Shane West, I could think of a million other people who could do that, who are already muscly built. Like, they're thinking about bringing Dave Bautista into Suicide Squad 2 as Bane. Now, I'm all on board on that one. That would be artistic. Well, he's muscular, he could fit the role, and I think he's also Spanish, which in the comics, Bane was Spanish.
Yeah. And so, that, again, that sounds great. But I'm already that reboot fatigue is hitting me again.
Oh man,
it's hitting me real. Let me get my medication for this.
Man, we got to get our doctor's notes for classes, man. We got reboot fatigue.
Gosh, I don't know. I would not like.
I definitely got reboot fatigue on the Spider-Man for sure.
Really,
so many Spider-Man movies.
That was the only one that I was okay with, but that's because I didn't really see
Andrew Garfield.
I didn't see Andrew Garfield. I didn't see either one.
See, I saw the first one, and I got through part of the second one, but never finished it.
I saw them way later, like after Civil War, so I was already happy with Tom Hardy being... Wait, Tom Hardy? No.
No, that's Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Like a turd. Dang it. In the wind.
Oh, my gosh. What is new Spider-Man's name?
That's Tom...
Tom
Holland.
Holland.
Sorry, Tom. If you do see the show, we are fans of yours. We apologize.
Both Hardy and Holland.
Yes, Hardy was an amazing Venom. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Chen. I have a parasite.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
let's talk about Venom for a little bit. So we actually, before we started the show, we actually went to see Venom together. That was the first movie we reviewed, actually. and we were saving it for this episode. But Venom was by far a phenomenal movie. I loved it. And he's not liking it, but I gave it like a 10 quacks on that one. The inner dialogue between Venom and Tom Hardy is what made the movie for me.
Now that section alone, I'd give that a 9 out of 10. If the movie was just him in a basement dealing with Venom, awesome.
Like literally, it could be in a psychiatrist's office and Venom comes out. I can just imagine that now. So what? So the doctor comes. Hey, so how are you feeling today? Well, I'm feeling okay. No, we're not.
Yeah. See,
no, we're feeling fine. We're hungry. She looks like food.
Right, and so that inner dialogue made that movie for me from being a 4 out of 10 to a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7. So like for me, there was a lot of that movie I didn't like. The CG in that movie for me was real bad. That was just for me, I thought my standard for CG is really high, and that was so bad.
I didn't mind it too much. I was laughing too hard to notice.
Anyways,
every time Venom talked, it was like, "So on my planet, I'm kind of a loser, like you."
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty good. Okay, so one last thing about artistic discussion about the movies. What do you think about movies taking, and this is something that's happening in cinematography and movies in general, but what do you think about movies, especially superhero movies, going darker, being grittier,
so
being sad,
for example,
and depressing?
For those of you who are fans of Hugh Jackman, he was an excellent Wolverine, probably one of the best.
Probably the best.
Salute to you, Mr. Hugh Jackman. You made us fans happy. He did a great Wolverine, and all of his other movies were PG-13, but for his final movie, he got the R rating. And mainly it was because of language. He wanted to be able to drop the F-bomb in there. He wanted to be able to drop... And it was done artistically, but, I mean, for me, that wasn't really important to the role. The role of him was just being him.
Yeah.
And Wolverine, you didn't necessarily have to cuss all that time. But,
right.
Artistically... I think that was... Wait, what was the question again?
The question is, in general, so we look at, Batman v Superman was super dark. Needlessly dark. Right. Even Man of Steel was really dark.
So, yeah, DC movies are dark. Now, so dark, you have to keep the lights on in the room. Boom,
wouldn't even see the movie then if the lights are off. Anyways, but even, the Marvel movies, Thor the Dark World, tried it, failed because of it.
Oh, Natalie Portman. I'm sorry, but she belongs back in the Star Wars universe where she's already dead. She's already dead.
Well, wait, you don't like Natalie Portman?
Well, I mean, I liked her in the first one. I liked her in the first one, but Annihilation. Sorry,
I haven't seen that. Don't talk about it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but
no.
Waste of time.
No, I think that movie's going to be great.
Watch it and prove me wrong.
Okay,
I'll have the sign. I'll have the sign on the table that says Annihilation was a horrible movie. Prove me wrong.
Okay, I will fight you to the death about this. I haven't seen the movie, but I don't know why. I think Natalie Portman's great. Anyways, we're totally
Natalie Portman rap. Did you see that? You ever seen the Natalie Portman rap?
She's amazing. Anyway.
Okay. So I may have to recant my statement. Natalie Portman is great.
She is great.
She's great.
The movie was bad, and
the movie was bad. Dark World was bad. It was hard to get through.
She was put in a position also that I don't think was very good for her. Not that she couldn't act very well, but I think that the writing and everything, the script was terrible. So, anyways, some movies are taking darker tone, and even at the halfway through Civil War, I would say Marvel Civil War, it gets really dark or weird, and it just doesn't. I don't know. So, what do you think about these darker tones?
The darker tones are basically. They definitely appeal to the older crowd, but for the young kids, the young kids who are growing up now, watching the Marvel movies now, it may affect them a little bit and may give them a bad impersonation of what they're really about.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that it's a cop-out to real artistic design. If we look at movies like 300 or Sin City, I haven't seen those. But
I've seen Sin City 1, and it was okay. I wasn't that crazy about it. 300, the first movie was really good. And that was good. I never saw the second one. I have it, but I haven't watched it. That's a lot of my movies. I have it, but I haven't watched it yet. I collect, but I don't watch. That's just sad. I got to get back on that. That's why one of the things I want to do in this show that I thought was have a fan pick a number, a random number between 1 and however many movies I have on the Vudu, and then that movie gets reviewed in the next episode.
Yeah. We get to do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Because we still got to cover the Arrowverse, which I'm really excited to talk about.
Yeah. So, anyways, wrap up I think that both have pros and cons.
They do. I think they're about equal, but Marvel still beats DC right now.
Absolutely. They're crushing
Black
it.
Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the new Captain Marvel that's getting ready to come out. That's going to take place in the 90s. I'm excited for that.
Of fun.
Starts out in Blockbuster Video.
Okay, so one last thing. We'll say your top 3 Marvel movies. Okay. And then we already talked the best DC
Guardians
movie
of the
is
Galaxy,
Wonder Woman, so yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and 1. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Chris Pratt is hilarious.
Oh, amazing.
And I am Groot.
It's very good. And Vin Diesel does it.
Vin Diesel, I am Groot.
I never thought that I would ever have I didn't think I would have something good from Vin Diesel, honestly.
Oh, I love Vin Diesel. I'm sorry. He's awesome.
He's fun, but he's not like gripping as a character
Triple
actor.
X?
Haven't seen it.
Triple X 2?
Haven't seen any of the Triple X.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
The last Fast and the Furious movie where he played it, where he went dark.
7?
I think it's 8.
8?
I've lost count.
I've watched like 4 of them.
Paul Walker's gone. I lost count.
I watched 4 of them, I think.
Well, I mean, the new ones are really good with him and Jason Statham and them. Well, Jason Statham and The Rock go back and forth all the time. Anyway, tangent. So, and then the next movie I would say would be, I like the comedy movie, the ones with the humor in it. But Marvel, I still think Venom is going to be up there too in one of my top 3.
Okay.
So I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 and Venom. Because Venom, I really enjoyed it, and I even went to see it twice. And it's just the inner dialogue in that comedy is what made the movie for me. If there wasn't there, the movie would have been horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, for me, that movie is just like above Iron Man 3. Venom is.
No.
But
Iron Man 3 was weird.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 was weird.
So I would say
the Mandarin?
That was Mandarin.
Mandarin.
I loved that twist.
I
thought it was great.
The one where it's an actor and he's not really the Mandarin.
That was amazing.
I was Ben Kingsley. I'm an actor hired to play the Mandarin.
That was perfect. Anyways,
a little bit of the Joker there.
Yeah. No, for me, my top Marvel movies would be, I'd probably go Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was good. I forgot how good that was.
So I'd probably go in Winter Soldier, and I think I would tie for Black Panther and Infinity War. Those are tied for me. Yeah.
Except Infinity War, Vision got his butt kicked. Every time Vision was being like the crap beaten out of him.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. Vision is way more powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Vision could have destroyed those people.
Oh yeah.
He could have destroyed Thanos. I mean, possibly.
Yeah. If he
had an Infinity Stone, he could have used it. But oh no, I forgot one movie. Shoot. So I guess Venom is not on one of my top 3.
Okay, what takes it?
Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch is phenomenal. Doctor Strange.
Super.
So. So your name is Doctor. Doctor Strange. Yes, I have to admit it. Mr. Doctor. No, it's Strange. I have to admit it is. I got the line totally wrong. I butchered it. I'm going to stop there.
But, no, for me, actually, Doctor Strange and Guardians Volume 1 is probably 4 and 5, right up there. So those are also some of my favorites. So, and we already agreed that So, we already agree that DC's the best, and our favorite movie is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah, it beats Suicide Squad. I mean, even though Will Smith did a good job in Suicide Squad, I loved his character, and I hope they get a solo movie of Deadshot. That's why he wasn't in Independence Day, was because he was working on Suicide Squad and said, okay, do I come in for a one-time role, or do I do a movie that's got more potential, that's going to have multiple roles?
And he did pretty good, but that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's move on to TV.
Yay!
Okay, so... is for our podcast listeners.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening and not watching, then you get the whole TV sound effect thing. For those watching, you're just laughing. Look at these idiots.
Yeah, no, right? So, anyways, let's talk Arrowverse first.
So I am all... the one thing I do with the Arrowverse, and I think you do the same, is we watch it as soon as it comes to Netflix or DVD, so we can binge all the way through.
Yeah.
So that way there's no in-between weeks, everything. I love the Arrowverse. It started off with Green Arrow. Was the very first show they did.
Great.
And then they got the idea to bring in The Flash. So they brought in The Flash. And then you had Arrow and The Flash. Then they brought in... ABC created the show Supergirl. And ABC did a horrible job with season 1, and they were going to cancel it. CW grabbed it and said, we want it. And the reason they did that was because there was one crossover episode in season 1 with The Flash and Supergirl, and they hit it off because they were also co-stars on the show Glee. Mm-hmm. So Grant Gustin and Melissa, I'm going to butcher the name, I think it's Bonnet, something close to that.
I don't know.
But Melissa, Supergirl, she does a great job as Supergirl. They had a crossover episode, and fans loved it, and they wanted more of that. So now they're doing these huge crossovers. After Supergirl, DC Legends came in, and then they brought in Black Lightning, but Black Lightning's not tied into any of it.
Yeah, which is dumb. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, tie it in. I mean, I think it actually premieres during the time that the other shows are off air.
Oh.
So it's something to fill in the time, maybe?
Yeah, but
I couldn't get through season 1 of Black Lightning. I didn't care for it.
I haven't watched it at all.
I have it. You can check it out.
Okay.
But Arrow keeps me intrigued. Stephen Amell does a great job as Green Arrow.
Oh, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
And then The Flash, Grant Gustin was a great Flash. Supergirl did fantastic. And then the DC Legends, you got characters from every series, like minor characters from every show. The Green Arrow, The Flash, and I'm trying to think, did they bring anyone in from Supergirl? I don't think they did. They have crossover episodes, but it's basically Arrow, Flash, and then some characters written for DC Legends that all come together for one episode, for one show, where they're just like misfit heroes.
Yeah.
They travel time and space to stop time anomalies.
Yeah.
What they call
it's
it.
really
Time
good. I am impressed that the Arrowverse can even like sustain itself, because when you sometimes when you watch the shows are a little silly, but I like that they lead into that very much, especially in Flash. Mm-hmm. Like Arrow's a little darker and a little more serious,
a little more brooding.
Yeah, very brooding. Oh my gosh, that's all he does. He just broods, like even more than Batman.
Either that or he's working out.
That's true.
He's climbing up the bars.
So many times.
Hey, dude, did you know that Stephen Amell did Ninja Warrior and completed the whole course on the first shot?
No way. I'm not
He
surprised.
did. I'm not surprised either. The dude's ripped.
Oh yeah,
and he does a winery on the side.
No way.
He's got his own winery. It's called Knocking Point. I think
That's
so.
funny.
That's the his wine bottle, a company that makes wine.
That's funny. That's too funny. So Arrowverse, that's like, for story, it's great that they're all connected, and each season has a really strong beginning.
Well,
and
let's stop
arc.
there. It's great that they're connected, and it's bad they're connected, because then you don't know which show to watch first, and you don't know whether you need to watch Arrow episode 1, Flash episode 1, Supergirl episode 1, and in what order you watch them. For me, it's literally, this past season was the hardest one, because I had to figure out, okay, so the crossover episodes, they had 5 episodes that all crossed over, one for each show that they had, or let me see, Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, and DC Legends. So 4 episodes that all, and they were all in a certain order. So I would start watching one show, get to the point of the crossover, have to go to the other show, get to the point of the crossover, go to the other show, get to the point of the crossover, and yep, you guessed it, go to the other show, get to the point of the crossover, and then watch the crossover episodes in order, and then continue the shows one by one. And that to me was just really a lot of effort to do.
I think that they should have. I think that the crossover episodes in general should have all been separate, like a separate entity, in the sense that, like, if you're gonna put it on Netflix, put it all in the Arrowverse and just be the Arrow crossover,
crossover, section, so that you can just watch those separately once you get to the section. But you'd still have to go through the episodes to get to that section, to get to that point.
Yeah, and so
that's the only hard point about it. That's the only hard downside of it, I would say.
I think that they should also not really connect to any of the main storylines, except for maybe if it's going to happen in, like, Flash crossover. And there's 5 episodes of Flash crossover. That's fine if that ties into the main storyline. Mm-hmm. But having it tie into multiple storylines, a little bit here and there, you just kind of miss threads.
It definitely works for the people who watch it as it airs.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing it all in order, they're watching it every day,
right,
or whatever, and they're watching it in order, so it's no problem there. But for those of us who binge watch, it makes it really difficult.
Yeah. So that's the only downside, and that's more like a scheduling kind of just weird little thing. But everything else about both shows are pretty good.
Another DC show that we mentioned earlier was Gotham, and they do a really good job of that. It's not part of the CW, so it's not part of the universe. But although they are bringing Batman and Batgirl or Batwoman into the CW in this crossover episode for this year, for the Arrowverse crossover, and they may be bringing in, which means they're going to be bringing in Batman, and there's now news that Superman may get his own show.
That'd be okay. I mean,
that's the actor that literally played Superman and Supergirl. They brought a character to play Superman, Tyler or something from Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
played in Superman. I was like, just bring back Tom Welling. but I think he was too old to do it.
Yeah, I think that the Superman that they brought for Supergirl did his job, but I think he would do terribly in his own show.
Yeah.
He is not.
I mean, I'd
leading
watch
man.
it because I'm a Superman fan to the end. If I had a Superman shirt underneath, I'd probably go right now. But no, I don't. I got my LuLaRoe shirt on. I'm not gonna rip that.
Yeah, and so it's the Arrowverse is really good, and it is. Is there anything artistically that's defining? I find the Arrowverse to be pretty much
The actors they cast, they really take. They must do a screening process, like a major, because it's like once you see them in the role, it's like I can't imagine anyone else in that role.
Yeah, it was weird to
The
have
fact
Flash
that in
two places.
taste, I definitely like how Supergirl brought in Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Those were the original Lois and Clark from the show Lois and Clark back in the 90s. Dean Cain was Superman and Terry Hatcher was Lois Lane. So in this episode, or in Supergirl, the past season would have been season 3, I think. Dean Cain comes in as kind of a he's the Jeremiah. He's the adopted father of Supergirl. And there's a line where Terry Hatcher she's an evil queen of an alien race, but she says to Dean Cain, no, I don't think it was her. I think it was the person who played Lana Luthor's mother. She said, "You're the only Superman we need," and I was just like the little boy in me inside just went, "Yay!"
Yeah, no, it's good. They do a really good job. But that's a good contained conversation about that. So let's talk about Marvel. Okay. So let's talk first.
Daredevil. We gotta talk about Daredevil.
Okay, we'll talk about that first. Yeah, so let's talk about Netflix series. So let's just go down the line.
Daredevil was the first one I watched, and I got hooked. Vincent D'Onofrio plays an excellent Kingpin. Like, I could not imagine anyone else in that role. He nails it. He is brutal. Killing people with his fist, literally beating them to death by punching them in the face until they die. I mean, it's just like, holy cow. Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Also, my goodness, what an actor.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know he could do that. He plays Matt Murdock perfectly.
Well, I don't know how he can play blind so well. So well. And then he even does in the first seasons, I'm sure that they had somebody come in and do a lot of the fighting choreography for him, which is fine. That makes sense. You do that because you don't have you have your actors and your stunt people. So that makes sense. But in season 3, at least for a good chunk of it, I don't want to spoil it because it was amazing.
Gotta watch it. Get on it now. If you have Netflix, get on and watch Daredevil season 3.
Yeah. He does an entire massive sequence of him acting, and he's blind, and he's acting blind, and it's perfect.
Then he fights. The fight scene in the prison.
Yeah.
Was by far, it had to be him.
Yeah, it was him.
It was him. It was choreographed. It was him.
I watched it multiple times to see. There were a few places where they could have made a few small cuts to stunt doubles, but even then, you saw him throwing the punches and doing a lot of things, and so it's just amazing.
Amazing show.
Really
Vincent D'Onofrio, and then Daredevil season 3. They brought in his arch nemesis, and it was basically his origin story for.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil this.
I'm not gonna say who it is.
It's just really.
I'm just saying it's an origin story for someone.
Yeah, and it's super good. I think my favorite thing about to connect it through all the things. My favorite thing about the Netflix shows is how sympathetic all of the protagonists you're normally very sympathetic for, and you want them to win. You feel bad for them, but you feel really bad, and you understand the bad guys and care about them just about as much.
Oh yeah, like Vincent D'Onofrio in the first seasons of Daredevil.
Yeah,
you saw his humanity. He found love.
Yeah,
like he had a woman who he was madly in love with.
Yeah,
and that's what drove him was protecting Veronica.
Right. Yeah, and so
I think I got the name right.
I don't think it was Veronica. Vanessa.
It was Vanessa.
That's fine. So
V something.
So
something with a V.
So that's amazing. And then so Daredevil does take a really dark tone, but they do that because Matthew Murdock's character, or the character of Matthew Murdock, is in a very tortured state, and his ideals. He's like, should I fight to save people? Should I? Is killing okay to save people? And he's very, very dealing with his own personal demons, and so I think that's really great. Let's move on to. Did you watch Luke Cage?
Luke Cage, I have not seen yet. I gotta watch that one.
Actually, the first half of season 1, I would say was a perfect 10. Second half of season 1, an 8. Season 2 is 7. It was okay.
And now it's canceled.
Now it's canceled, which kind of sucks. I really like the actor for Luke Cage, and I like the characters in it, but the writing was kind of weird.
Well, also, they also Iron Fist. I still haven't gotten through season 1. It's painful.
Oh yeah, the season 1 is kind of a drag. Fast forward through it, or even just watch season 2. Just like read the wiki.
I was like, do I need to watch Defenders first? Because Defenders was the episode where the show where they all came together. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil all came together.
I would watch.
I want to watch Defenders for Daredevil.
Yeah,
alone, because I'm sure he's got some good action in that. But I felt like I needed to finish all the other shows and get caught up before that. But all the shows take place in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
They all take place in New York.
They all take place in New York, yeah. Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen. Iron Fist is also mostly Hell's Kitchen and other places.
Jessica Jones?
Jessica Jones is just general New York, and Luke Cage is
I haven't
Harlem.
seen a lot of Jessica Jones. I tried to watch it.
Oh, yeah?
I got to get through season 1 with David Tennant as the villain.
Mm-hmm. Season 1 and season 2 are both really good in my opinion.
I'll probably get onto them and watch them, but I'm still watching 24, and then I started picking up Burn Notice again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Those shows are so good.
I'm just going through The Office again because I go through that. Yeah. We'll talk about that. Why that's one of the best shows. Anyways, so what is something bad about the Arrowverse? What would you say?
Oh, you mean we're talking about Marvel, aren't we?
Oh yeah, well I was going
jumping back to
I was
Arrowverse.
going back
Okay.
to Arrowverse.
So the bad thing, I guess, is how you have to keep up with the shows to do the crossovers. I'd say
Okay.
that would
That's
definitely be. It's too much effort. It's like, have all the crossover episodes on each series. Have it be the same episodes for each series, so that way you can see them. Well, no, I mean, I don't know if that would work either. I mean, I guess the way they're doing it is the only way they really could do it.
Yeah,
I just don't like the effort I have to put into to get caught up with all the shows before I can watch that one point. I want to watch one show all the way through, and I mean, if they had it separate from the series, and that way you come in and it's just make it its own show.
Yeah, I mean,
Arrowverse crossover,
just like they did Defenders for
Call
Netflix.
it Arrowverse.
Yeah,
Call the show Arrowverse on Netflix, and those are the crossover episodes that they film, and that could have literally 5 episodes per season.
Yeah,
and that would be a hit, and people would buy that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's definitely a big thing. I think my biggest problem with the Arrowverse is that sometimes it gets really, really campy and really, really goofy. Like some of the acting gets really not great, and some of the character design or costuming gets really silly, especially in Flash and Supergirl for me. Especially Supergirl. Like Flash is Arrow is top and does fine.
Cisco. Come on, Cisco's like the best character in Flash.
I love Cisco.
Cisco's awesome.
But the thing is that some of the other characters are kind of a little silly, especially the whatever the last season was, the main bad guy that had all the headgear and
the Thinker?
Yeah, the Thinker. I don't know, that was pretty
my
silly.
gosh. Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be Brainiac, but then I was like, the Thinker.
I know. It's why not just have it be Brainiac?
Well, don't want to say spoilers to Krypton, but there's a connection between them. I mean, it's obvious. That's Superman's main villain, or Krypton's main villain was Brainiac. So
that makes sense.
So that's what they tie into Brainiac invading Krypton was the whole.
Gotcha.
Jeez, sorry, it's still worth watching.
Oh yeah,
I didn't spoil too much.
Let's see. And so that would be my biggest problem with Arrowverse. What's your biggest problem with the Marvel Netflix shows? Because I still want to talk about the other Marvel shows outside of
Iron Fist was hard to watch. It was hard to keep interested in. I just felt like it was going on and on and on.
There's a lot of political drama that was really boring.
Yeah. Jessica Jones, I tried to start and then got to the love scene between her and Luke Cage. I'm like, was that really necessary?
Oh, Jessica, that only happens at the beginning. At the end of the first episode, did you even make it through the end of the first episode?
I think I did.
Oh, because
I don't remember it was that long ago.
The end of the first episode got me hooked. I was like, oh, I have to watch everything now.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch it. I mean, she was originally in Gilmore Girls as a side character.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the later seasons.
It's weird to see her in interviews because she's a super bubbly girl.
Yeah.
And it's really weird to see
her really dark and ominous.
Ominous?
Ominous. I can never say that word.
That's fine.
That's the one word I will fail to say every time. Even if I read it, I still say it wrong.
That's fine.
Omnimus.
Omnious. So let's see. So that's one bad thing about Marvel is that it is MA. So the Netflix shows are
they
MA.
are. They're definitely not for kids. I mean, the amount of blood I saw in Daredevil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's very violent, very strong.
You see the punch and you see the blood come off the face, just on the ground. Just ew, I hope it doesn't slip in that.
Right. I think, and so like we had talked about that, so we're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and so we do like to filter our stuff a little, or not filter our stuff, but we like to choose our things because there's certain things that are unnecessary to see or that would ruin a movie to a point where it's like it's not worth watching.
Right.
I personally think that those shows are worth it, and they're definitely also worth skipping those scenes because if there's any scene,
the scenes are not really relevant to the plot; they're just thrown in there
Yeah,
to give it the mature rating.
the love scenes are pretty irrelevant. It shows the difficulties that the characters are having. It's never there to just be gratuitous and be like, oh look, here's bodies, but it's shown there for at least a tiny reason, but not enough reason to have it to not skip it.
Yeah, it's just like the whole scene in The Matrix with Neo's butt.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh, you see all the holes in them and everything
Oh.
because they're robotic or they're grown humans, and then they have a sex scene between him and Carrie-Anne Moss, and it was just like
Ugh, gross.
you see Keanu Reeves butt.
Ugh,
Keanu Reeves butt.
no one
They
needs
did
to
not
see
need to see that.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about also Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There are other...
So I have no experience with that other than the fact that when I was at OSCON, I got a picture taken with the shield from Captain America, and it had the signatures of every cast member from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's it. I have
Wait.
not watched it. I have not seen a single episode.
Why not?
I'm afraid to get into it.
Like, are you afraid that you're going to like it, or you're going to hate it, or just that's a lot of time?
That's a lot of time, and I don't know what's going to happen.
It's pretty good. Season 4 is forgettable. Season 5 was interesting, a little weird, but good.
Is it true they bring in Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Awesome. Who plays Ghost Rider?
I don't know, but I like him. He does do a good Ghost Rider, but that was the season that was the most weird. I think I might have to go back and watch it because I didn't really get
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah. it's on
Okay,
Netflix.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., check it out. Give us your opinion.
It was...
The comment section below. On
Yeah.
here.
It was pretty fun. It was altogether, I would give it a positive rating.
Is Agent Cole in that? Because he's
Agent
the one that's...
Coulson?
Yeah, Agent Coulson.
Oh, he's the entire show.
That's what I thought. I was about to say it goes back to him and his role. So it was
Yeah.
nice they expanded on it because they killed him off in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah. And so, anyways, it's really good. Like I said, there are some things about it that kind of like Arrowverse, where it gets a little campy and silly. That's like a little too much.
I
For
think
me.
that's kind of stereotypical of all the shows now.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Marvel or the Netflix shows never get campy, except for the end of Luke Cage. So that's the only thing. But yeah,
Although Luke Cage does look good. The fact that he's indestructible, bulletproof, and...
oh, Luke Cage. Well, I love it for the style, almost purely for the style and the villains. That's what I like about him. And Luke Cage is great. He's a great hero, and I really like him as a hero because he's a very much unreliable hero, where he wants to be a hero, but he also doesn't, and he wants to just sit at home and just be able to relax and just have a nice job.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's really cool. I really like Luke Cage.
I feel like Luke Cage compares to Black Lightning.
How so?
That's Marvel's Black Lightning is DC. I got that backwards. Marvel's Luke Cage is DC's Black Lightning. They both have jobs. They want to be stuck in. They're going to the superhero role non-voluntarily. They kind of feel like they have to.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that for
Because
sure.
in Black Lightning, he's a principal of a school. And he dons on the costume that he put away 20 years ago because his kids, one of his daughters gets kidnapped or something, and he goes to save her.
Gotcha.
And then that's when Black Lightning comes out, and it's to help the community that they live in. So,
Well, yeah, I could definitely see the similarities in that. But Luke Cage, the music also is really good. Luke Cage.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. So, but let's see. That covers a lot of what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Is there anything about
I'm trying to think.
Arrowverse or the DC movies, or
Well,
maybe some final thoughts?
I'm about to say video games, DC. There's none.
Well, there's the Arkham series.
Oh, true. Batman Arkham series was very well done, but when was the last time they did a game on that?
That is a good point.
So this recent one was Spider-Man, which was phenomenal. And I saw something funny the other day, and it was literally a meme of the fact that the Spider-Man, or the Peter Parker in that, is a cross between every single actor who has played Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true. It does look
You
like
saw
it.
that? I posted that.
I think
You
I
saw
saw
that
it,
picture?
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's an exact replica of what they'd all look like if they were together.
Just mashed together. That was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny. And then Marvel. I don't know if Marvel has any more plans for any more games coming out.
I mean, other than Spider-Man 2, they're going to eventually do probably.
Yeah,
Can't
I would
imagine
say that eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the DLC coming out now.
If you could have a Spider...
Wait, there may be something done by Superman. There may be a Superman game coming out.
Oh, okay.
So that would be interesting to do a open world Superman game. They tried that back when Superman Returns. It was on Xbox 360, but to bring it out on Xbox One and have it be like Man of Steel or something like that would be interesting because they did the Batman ones really good. I mean, if they can do Batman, they can pull off Superman.
Yeah, I think it would be rough just because his power set is really weird and not weird, but it's like he has too many. And
if they make the combat similar or make it so that everyone knows that Kryptonite is. Well, that would be corny. If everyone had kryptonite on
right, then it would just be like a Batman, but with Superman clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. That'd be interesting. What do you think about upcoming things?
Captain Marvel,
we're excited for.
DC, nothing as of yet other than Wonder Woman 1984.
Aquaman.
How did I forget about Aquaman? Oh my gosh, that's this month too. We're going to have to go see that.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
One
of my wife's top 5. I'll have to try to ignore and not get jealous when I see her look at him.
Oh, that's fine. He's a good-looking man.
No, dude is buff. He is ripped, and he is a funny guy too.
I don't like that about Aquaman though.
The year 2018 was the year all Aquaman, or no, the year Batman vs Superman came out, and you saw Aquaman for the first time of the year. All Aquaman jokes stopped.
Oh yeah,
and everyone's like, "I'm not joking about Aquaman anymore."
I know, but I didn't like that. So that was an artistic choice that I see why they did it because everybody makes fun of Talks with Fish, kind of like little like kind of Ken doll. Look, I'm Aquaman. And
my gosh, I talk to fishes.
Yeah, and so the best way to do that was to bring in Jason Momoa and have him come in and shatter all expectations.
Like, hey,
yeah. Just anyways, and so he's very cool and a lot of fun. I think that he was very like bro-ish, like he seemed like a fraternity boy, and so I didn't like that. He can be funny and still be less frat boyish, but
he pulls it off.
It's good.
I think he's the one fit that did really well.
I think the movie will be good. I don't think the movie will be great. Again, I have CG issues. I'm a real.
He's a CG nerd.
I am, and like that also just throwing it out there, like Jurassic Park, the new ones, totally threw me out of like the movie. Like I'd watch, I'm like, oh, this movie looks great. Oh, it's a giant computer graphic thing. Like I enjoy the animatronics of Jurassic Park 1 way better, but that's a side note, and that's a long conversation otherwise.
That is another story and shall be told another time.
Sorry. So yeah. So as for next week, what we're going to do, we're going to see Nutcracker.
So, we're going to see Nutcracker on Friday, we're going to talk a little bit about Disney. I wore the wrong shirt for today, but I wore it for... I'll see if I can wear it again for next week. It's Captain Hook, Hook or Crook. And then we're going to see Bohemian Rhapsody, and we're going to have a guest star on here too, Jeremy Smith. Hopefully we can get him. Yeah. Hopefully we can get him to come on the show and
he's so cool.
Join us for that. Cool guy. One of our fellow movie reviewers. So
yeah, and so we'll be watching those. We'll be talking. You wanted to talk a little bit about Pirates.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean is stating they're going to reboot it without Johnny Depp.
There's that reboot fatigue again.
Dude, you gotta get that checked out. You gotta get that checked out. I mean, seriously, it's probably
it is
contagious.
But anyway, so reboot fatigue. But Pirates again will be coming. It seems like it'll be coming out without Johnny Depp. And for me, I would rather that because I don't even want to be Pirates. Just make a different movie. Just don't make a pirate movie that's not...
Hello, love. I really think I belong in this movie, though. I mean, Jack Sparrow is an incredible character, and I do drink a lot of rum. Just a little too much.
I just want all of them.
No, I mean, honestly, the way they left off the last Pirates movie, I mean, it was just like, they're bringing it back, but now it's like, okay, Jack Sparrow is the main character. I mean, beside all the other characters in there, he was one of the main guys, so it's like, how are you going to do it without him? I don't know. We'll have to see.
I legitimately don't know what was the last Pirates movie.
The last Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Did not see it.
It's on the Vudu. Watch it.
Okay.
It was fantastic, and the cliffhanger at the end was like... Ugh.
Okay, wait. So you say that's fantastic. We're going to sidetrack. I know this is a Marvel vs. DC thing. But let's just talk real quickly. What are your ratings for the pirate movies?
Pirate movies, I think Dead Men Tell No Tales was the best compared to the third movie before, with the last one with Orlando Bloom in it, which is at World's End. So I think I feel like it compares to that because it has all the characters in it, and in this one they bring back Orlando Bloom and all that. And I mean, not to say any spoilers, but you watch it and you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
But the ending, the very end of it, was like, oh, shit is going down.
What's your favorite Pirates movie then?
I think my favorite Pirates movie was At World's End.
Oh,
that was good. Chow Yun Fat was awesome. For me it's number one. But anyways, okay. So that's our show. I think that's the Duck Duck Nerd Show for today. That's the Duck Duck Nerd Show for today. So go give a quack about something else right now.
Yeah. Caroline and I are going to be doing our Overwatch podcast. It'll be coming up, and so check us out over at DC Overwatch, and we'll be talking
not as in DC Comics like we were just talking about, but just DC as in Daniel and Caroline.
Yeah.
It works.
So anyways, well, thanks for watching, guys.
All right.
See
Peace out. See you next time.